Hey guys, welcome back to Screen Orb. Today we'll talk about 4 of the grossest bars on bar rescue. Let's head into it. Number 4, the unfortunate football fan.
So the beer sucked, the cocktails sucked? I'd say the bar sucks.
According to Taffer, the worst bar or club incidents involved unwitting victims. He recalls a time when he was running a nightclub in Los Angeles and a man got hurt through the silliest of things. The Washington Redskins professional football team had just lost a game that would have put them in the playoffs, and a fervent fan decided to express his displeasure as he entered the venue. Taffer remembers him screaming, "Those f***ing Redskins," and like the punchline to a bad joke, a group of Native American patrons within earshot decided to beat him up pretty badly, mistaking his remark for a racist remark directed at them. The Skins fan, according to Taffer, was the most inoffensive, politically correct man he could imagine, who just happened to get himself into a pickle due to bad luck. Number 3, the peeping Tom. Taffer doesn't go into great detail about a time when he had to deal with an ambitious pervert, but he does. "I once had somebody try to get into a ladies' room," Taffer recalls. He climbs up into the ceiling, and the ladies' room drop ceiling collapses, dumping him on the floor, and he's lying on the floor in the middle of the ladies' room, getting kicked to death by the girls.
To make my money. It's a small butt, but it's a cute butt.
Number 2, the opening night tragedy. Since an accident resulted in someone's death, Taffer doesn't have to think long to come up with the worst thing that's ever happened in one of his establishments. A club called Pulsations in Concord, Pennsylvania was one of Taffer's most successful venues. According to the Philadelphia Inquirer, it had more than 2,000 patrons on weekend nights for much of the 1980s, with 11 bars, 10 levels, and top-level entertainment. It was on the verge of failing on its first night. On opening night, a light fixture fell off the ceiling and somebody got killed, Taffer says. Nobody could have seen it coming, but it did happen. According to the Philadelphia Inquirer, the fixture struck Margaret Jones, 37 years old, and injured 5 others. In 1987, the club reached an out-of-court settlement with the Jones family.
Does anybody here want to drink this, really? Is this not the worst beer you've ever seen in your life?
Number 1, O-Face Bar. In Season 3 episode Punch Drunk and Trailer Trashed, Taffer's worst bar was a trailer-themed O-Face Bar in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Matt and Karen, the owners, named the bar after a vulgar expression and treated their employees badly because they liked manager Amanda better. Matt and Karen responded to a staff member fight by firing the victim, bartender Sarissa, rather than the instigator, manager Amanda, as John demanded. John was enraged, and he was on the verge of being fired. The owners made amends by firing Amanda and apologizing to Sarissa, but this came at the expense of a day's worth of training. Their customer service was not much better. Matt refused to share the recipe for their signature orgasm shot with the customers, and bartender Dave was reckless with fire. They wasted even more time after an abysmal stress test by bickering and family drama. Karen blamed the shortcomings on security guard Sick, one of the bar's few decent people. Karen had a drinking problem as well, and she had her own bell to ring when she needed more booze. She had a bad attitude, refused to take responsibility for her actions, and frequently blamed Matt, who in turn chastised anyone who yelled at her. Another memorable scene showed the staff and owners arguing in the back room rather than training, while John and his experts waited at the bar in vain. John had to go into the back room, break up the fight, and make a list of every action that led to him declaring their bar unworthy of rescue. The final straw for John was his staff background check, which revealed evidence of criminal acts, including a video of Matt slapping Dave and offering Sick a raise in exchange for throwing him through a window. Matt showed no remorse for his actions. John refused to associate with or risk his reputation with people who lacked morals or professionalism. He walked out after refusing to save their bar, telling Matt and Karen that they needed psychiatric help and marriage counseling more than a bar rescue, while Sick was giving his final thoughts. An enraged Matt yelled at him. Amanda was then rehired after Sick was fired. John learned in a follow-up episode of Back to the Bar that the bar's owners had remodeled it, but the negative portrayal and dreadful brand identity remained the same. Although Matt showed promise by removing a regular who acted inappropriately towards a female spy, drink and food sales didn't improve. Matt was arrested in February 2016 and pleaded guilty to second-degree sexual abuse and assault with intent to commit sexual abuse on an O-Face Bar employee. On the condition that he follows his plea agreement, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison, with the charge suspended for 90 days, followed by 2 years of probation, 20 years of parole, and the completion of sex offender treatment program. Matt finished his prison sentence in April of that year, but was arrested and returned to prison after soon failing to register as a sex offender. O-Face Bar is still open for business in 2021.
I will scream at you all day long, but I will never hit you. My wife!
What do you think about these bars on Bar Rescue? Which one was the worst one? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.